Yeah, so I'm in the match odds market tonight. Champions League game, Porto Liverpool's first leg. I like the match odds market because it's the most liquid market of all. Plenty of cash around, especially on nights like this. And correct score is often equally good, or not equally good, but also a good market to be in. But generally, correct score is a bit thinner on the ground, and it's tougher to bet as many games. So I'll often find myself in the match odds market, despite the fact that the correct score market is perhaps my favoured market. But tonight I just think, first leg, it's Champions League, it might be tight. I don't know, goals might be thin on the ground, so I'm trying to go with Liverpool on this. I thought they would be a little shorter this afternoon. Porto had them about 11 to 4, and they kind of did move out from, I think, about 3.5 when I first looked, to that sort of price pre-match, and then bounced back down quite quickly after the match started. So they've now gone back out again because Liverpool are beginning to look like having a sort of dominant spell. So I'm going to lay Porto. I'm going to keep the draw on my side for now, and maybe play with the draw a little later if I think there's likely to be a goal, and I'll show you what I mean by that when I resume. Okay. So I've just gone in against Porto here for the moment, just for £100, just really for the purposes of this video, because I never really like talking and trading, but we'll see how we go. It's pretty kind of even at the moment. Liverpool look like they're perhaps beginning to get into the game. It's taken a while, but perhaps not that surprising. It's a wet night in Portugal, and it's always quite a hostile atmosphere. So we'll see how it goes. Just incidentally, I tend to stay in my trades, but if you're more inclined to nip in and out, this 3.8 the price at which I laid Porto was literally a few minutes ago, and already you could probably put an order in at 4.1. So if you're inclined to trade, sorry, it just looked like some dangerous play in the area there. If you're inclined to nip in and out, you can do that. As long as you get in early, you can get in early, then you can trade out straight away, or just a few minutes later. I didn't really get in early, but I got in time, and obviously you may want to use much larger stakes if you're playing with a view to trade out fairly shortly. So anyways, as I said, Liverpool were getting into this game, and they have actually scored. I think keep a bit of an error there, but as I said, it's a wet night, and he's kind of made a hash of it, really. So I'll just let the market settle again, and then pop back. So the only problem with the goal is that I was going to sort of show you how I deal with the draw, and the price probably hasn't come in far enough yet, but quite often I'll have that money on Liverpool and the draw, and after 35 minutes, or even sooner than that price has dropped quite a lot. I'm going to check where it went to. So it had come in to around odds of 3, and you could actually sort of lay off that draw as the price comes in a bit. If you think there's going to be a goal, you haven't obviously then got the draw on your side, but you've got an extra 40 odd quid on Liverpool, and you've reduced your liability on Porto, or you may want to, you know, make that 20 and you know, reduce your liability further on Porto. There's all sorts of ways you can cut up the pie. So at the moment, I am not really sure what to do. I'm inclined to sort of reduce that 280. It's this is not a big bet for me, but it's I'm trying to think how I'd normally play it, or act as I'd normally play it. So I'd probably take this down a bit, because, you know, Porto now 1-0 down. They've got the second leg to come. They may just throw caution to the wind, like any game. Attack Liverpool, but I just get the feeling they haven't quite got the firepower to trouble them. But it's a greasy, wet pitch. Anything can happen, and you know, Porto equaliser's always possible, of course. But I'm going to watch the game a little longer. If Liverpool continues to control the game, then there's no reason to come out. It's not an automatic decision with me to just come out immediately the goal scored, because why? You know, you've got, obviously the longer you leave it, the more profit you're going to have on Liverpool in the draw. And you know, if you start coming out now, I suppose, let's have a look. You can, it's not going to be much, is it? 20 odd quid, or, oh, my maths is rubbish. Yeah, you can take that liability down with £26 and completely get rid of it. Well, as luck would have it, while I've been rabbiting on, Liverpool scored again. It was a great goal by, I think, by Salah. Great finish, a very composed, sort of wonderful goal, actually. So now I'm thinking, you know, really, for the how much it's going to cost me to come out, you know, 5 or 6 quid, I'd probably do it now. Just take Porto's liability down to nothing. I tend to trade. I tend to always like to eliminate my liability. You know, it's not for everyone, but I tend to play on the cautious side. I do this, you know, full time. I like to make sure that I'm kind of rather safe than sorry. It's nothing worse than you know, doing all the hard work and not getting a reward. Yesterday I was in the Tottenham. I was actually on Juventus last night. It was actually because it was in conjunction with a free bet that 365 gave me, and I just banged a load of money on Juventus, and at 2-0 it was all over. So it seemed to be, because 365 paid out, as I found out this morning, under their sort of early payout scheme. And I went and covered the draw on Betfile, because I thought, you know, there were 2 kind of crazy goals early on. Tottenham hadn't settled, and sure enough, they came back and drew. I thought, well, I was quits basically on that game in my head, and then got there this morning and found out that 365 had paid me out, and I got the draw. So that was very lucky. But I tend to sort of hedge my bets, because you know, it's psychologically quite difficult if you've done a lot of hard work and you mess it up at the end. So I'm just going to pause this now. I'm going to start, you know, equalising my losses, or rather my liability, into profit, or at least take Porto down to 0. I'll be back shortly. So I'd basically taken Porto down to 0. Basically because I'm not in the other Real Madrid PSG game, and I can go and have supper with my family. So it's yeah, it's you know, unlikely that Porto will come back and win this 3-2. But if they do, I'm still going to win 9p, yippee. And if it stays Liverpool the draw, I make 88 odd quid. So I didn't really get to show you in this video how you can play around with the draw, but you can probably work it out, you know, as the match progresses. You know, teams have spells, teams tire. The draw can be, you know, right down at 1.7, 1.8, 1.5. You can be right into the last quarter of the game, and you can start playing around with the money you've got here and really increase your profit on Porto and Liverpool. Or you can just leave it as it is. I mean, of course, I can try and make myself an extra £5 or something, 6-7 quid, because I can take this down now to 8 but for the sake of £7. I'm just not prepared to risk it. It just doesn't seem like a good bet to me. So I will just leave it as it is, and you guys can check the result, because I probably won't be till tomorrow. And I hope it's been moderately useful. I'll get on another game shortly, and perhaps if it falls into place, we can, you know, have the team hopefully that we're betting on and with a big profit, also have the draw, and you know, lay that draw off and see if we're correct in predicting a late goal that then seals victory for the team we're on, so that you increase your profit on the chosen team and reduce your liability on the team in which you're betting against. Anyway, I hope you kind of got something from this, and we'll see you shortly. Thanks a lot. Bye.